Good morning. Let's see. Pastor Pat asked me to reflect on motherhood and how faith has played a role in that. So here goes. Several years ago, I gave a Mother's Day sermon entitled it "The Meanest Mother in the World." At the time, I think that was a name I went by fairly often, and I had earned it. Loving my children meant making decisions for them that they were not always happy with. Although I can still be the meanest mother in the world, especially if you ask Sydney, today I want to talk about how I've gotten through those tough parenting moments. I recently had a conversation with Leah where I told her about a struggle I was having with Sydney. And she said, "Oh, how parenting is such a blessing." She, of course, was being sarcastic, and with a bit of an eye roll, I agreed with her. But I also let Leah know that despite the challenges that being a mother can bring, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. Now, let me preface this next part by saying I'm a crier. And for me, being a mother can be described as an emotional roller coaster of tears. And I've cried them all, many times. There have been tears of frustration when, despite my best efforts, my child was determined to do the wrong thing. The tears of heartbreak when my heart felt that it was breaking because I was watching my child suffer and there was nothing I could do about it, but be there for them and let them know I loved them. And then there's the greatest tears of all, the tears of joy. These are the tears that fall when my heart is so full of love and pride for my children that I think it might explode. To be honest, there have been times I felt like I reached rock bottom as a mother, whether it was due to something my child did or some parenting mistake I had made. Those feelings of failure were overpowering, and the tears of heartbreak and frustration fell. In those times, I'd remind myself of something I heard in a sermon years ago. I don't remember the exact story, but the minister described two people kind of standing with their backs to each other and leaning on each other. Each one holding up the other. Then he told us that no matter how impossible things in our lives might seem at times, that God would never give us something we couldn't handle. That God would be the one we could fall back on. That he would be the one holding us up when we thought we might fall. That faith has gotten me through many, many tough moments in my life. And at least so far, that faith has worked for me in my life as a mother. I'm still standing, and I can proudly say that I am the lucky mom of 3 truly wonderful children. So yes, Leah, being a mother is such a blessing. And I can only hope that as my children move through their lives and experience their tears of frustration, heartbreak, and joy, that they have the same faith that God will be there to hold them up when they don't think they can stay standing.
So my speech is about the theme of unconditional love and all the times it shows up in the Bible and the stories of the Bible, and how that relates to motherhood and how I've experienced it with my mom, not me being a mother. Mother's Day has been a controversial holiday for one reason or another for many, many years. Some people calling it a Hallmark holiday. My grandmother personally believes that she doesn't like it because she believes you should respect and honor your mother every day, not just one day a year. I agree with that, but I will also agree that I do enjoy celebrating Mother's Day because it gives one extra special day to treat your mother. As for my mom, I don't even know where to begin. Many of you know me and know that I've been a handful since I was just a baby. I loved to make a scene and be the center of attention, while my mom was much more comfortable not in the spotlight. Growing up, I was often in trouble for one thing or another, whether at school or at home, and I certainly never made it easy to be a parent. One thing I can say, though, is how much I respect my mom. I respect her not just because it's the right thing to do, but because she's earned it. She's earned it since the day I was born. She brought me into this world and loved and nurtured me with everything she had every day, no matter what. She has stuck with me through so many awful times and arguments, and never has she given up on me or my two sisters. She has persistently believed in us when we didn't believe in ourselves, and if we didn't even want to be believed in. That's what moms are for. Moms will be there for you in your happiest and saddest days, and all of the days in between. They will be there for advice, for support, for love, and for friendship. Now I want to talk about unconditional love. Unconditional love is a very rare thing, but I've seen it displayed time and time again from my mother throughout my life. I don't know where I would be without my mom. Words can never explain how much she means to me and how thankful I am to have her in my life. I will continue trying to be the best man that I can be, and I know that my mom will never stop believing in me, just like God will never stop believing in us. Through the highs and the lows, the sunshine and the rain, I will always love my mom, and I will always make sure she knows that. Thank you.